Today, I'm joined by somebody who's built not just one, but two national IT companies, and now spends his time helping turn technology from a headache into a growth engine. Ephraim Ebstein is the founder and CEO of Fit Solutions, where he's bridging the gap between strategy, AI, and cybersecurity, and we talk real cases about what he's doing with AI on this bonus episode of The Business of Tech. This episode is supported by Comet Backup. Not all heroes wear capes. Some live among us, quietly saving businesses one help desk ticket at a time. Whether you're battling ransomware, hardware failure, or human error, Comet's powerful backup and recovery solutions put you in control. Manage all your backups in Comet's simple, centralized platform. Protect computers, servers, virtual environments, emails, and databases. When disaster strikes, be the hero your business needs. With Comet Backup, you're not just saving the data, you're saving the day. Comet Backup, for the everyday IT heroes. Visit cometbackup.com to start your free 30-day trial today. Get $100 free credit when you sign up with the promo code MSP Radio. Comet Backup. Be the hero. Save the day. Well, Ephraim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. I'm excited to be on your show.
Well, likewise. So first, let's baseline. You run an IT services organization. Tell me a little bit about your organizations, what you do, the size, employees. Now, give me the stats of the organization.
Yeah. So the company is Fit Solutions, and we also have our cybersecurity division that is Fit Cybersecurity. And we did $30 million last year in revenue, and we're on track to do about $38 million this year. We have 116 employees currently and growing.
Gotcha. So certainly a established one. Is it all founder driven? Are you now involved in the PE game? Like, give me a little bit of sense of the
all founder driven, all organic growth, no PE. We started in 2012. I had a co-founder at the time, and my co-founder, a good buddy of mine, his name's Joel. He came along for the ride for 8 years, and then he wanted to leave to do something else. So I bought his shares out.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, congratulations on getting that size without external funding. That's quite a thing. But I want to talk to you today a little bit about what you're seeing out in the field. In particular, one of the things that I'm really interested in is understanding what's happening, directly in the field. And in particular, you described the organization as an AI integrator, which I thought was a really interesting approach to it. Tell me a little bit about what you're actually seeing in the field with customer requests around artificial intelligence and what's working and what's not.
Yeah, that's a great question. So obviously every business owner is thinking about AI. We're probably sick about hearing the word because it's thrown around so liberally. And if you're in technology, probably a lot of people are misusing it. But it is what business owners are thinking about. And what are business owners always thinking about? They want to be able to reduce labor costs, and they want to increase revenue. So those are really two important things, and AI plays into that. They also are concerned about getting left behind. The majority of our business is made still from traditional IT MSP work. About 20% is made from our cybersecurity practice. But now, in the last year, we started doing AI integration. I'll talk a little bit more about that. We do a very specialized, or I should say niche type of AI integration. And that's been growing leaps and bounds. In fact, I've never been able to sell a product as easily as this. So we're 13 years. If you're in the MSP game, selling IT services it's hard. It's hard. And I've always had an uphill battle selling, just like every other owner. Obviously, we've been successful because we do good work, but it's still hard. It's a big decision. Even selling cybersecurity is hard. And AI has been relatively easy to sell. So once again, we're not an AI platform. We're just integrating technologies that are out there and implementing them for a business. And it's very similar. I mean, if you're in the MSP game, you've been doing integrations for a long time. So it's similar. But I think there are some different skill sets that other than the traditional IT and cyber skill sets that you'll need to get.
Well, I think you're validating a working theory that I got. So I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit more about the offering, because my working theory is that particularly for most SMB and lower mid-market, even to the mid-market, it's going to be a lot more, as you alluded to, that there's integration and putting things together versus building. Tell me a little bit more about the offering that you've put together.
Okay, so yeah, so 100%, I 100% agree with you. I think everyone thinks AI is like this sentient, they talk about it taking over and being sentient and being able to do all these amazing things, which it can do amazing things, but it doesn't integrate itself. And if you look at most businesses, AI is maybe a feature set in an existing software, or it's them using ChatGPT, which, don't get me wrong, is very powerful. But for AI to actually, when I approached it, I said, I want to know whose jobs are actually getting replaced by AI. I want to see a use case. Now, this was a year and a half ago. So there was a lot less use cases at that time than there is now. Now there's a lot more. But that's the way I approached it. And when we started digging into it, because I was like, I want an AI employee. How do we make that can actually do things? We started looking at different techs, all different techs out there. The one we landed on and we started getting really good is basically taking chatbot technology, but integrating it in the business that it can communicate via text message, because people text. I'm sure you text all the time. You'll be in a meeting, you'll be texting people, and people do a lot of business on text. So we took basically ChatGPT Brain, N8N, different softwares, we integrate them. We got really good at the texting, and we can create basically not an AI chatbot, because most people, when you chat with a chatbot, first of all, not all of them are full AI. A lot of them are still like auto chatbots. The ones that are full AI, still you chat 3-4 messages back and forth. It's not a human. Our job is to fool people that they think it's a human, be so good that they think it's a human, and be able to do it over text message. So that's our specialty. That's what we've been implementing it. We have a couple different types for different companies and use cases. So some of them are sales focused, like revenue generating. So we create those, and then others are labor replacement. So they're not sales. They're either customer service. Hotel concierge is an example of one we do a lot of. And there's collections. There's other use cases that will create the AI employee. And that's our thing.
So it sounds like, tell me about a specific implementation, because I think I'm getting the sense, but one of those implementations, as you walk me through it, it'll probably firm it all up for the listeners.
Okay, I'll give you 2 examples. So one that we do a lot of these is hotels. So we've been getting kind of it started with boutique hotels. Now we're starting to move upstream. But basically, someone checks into a hotel, and boutique hotels where we started don't have a lot of staff. They can't afford a full-time staff. So a lot of them operate much more like an Airbnb, where you check in, you get your email, you get like a door code in. There might be someone obviously there's cleaning staff, but there might be someone at the front desk for certain hours, but not even 24/7. Some have traditionally had that. But a lot of the boutique hotels we were working with were using like VA staff, virtual assistants, or you know what I mean, in the Philippines or whatever. So they would use them. So to reduce labor, what we did is we created AI employee. The first one we ever created, her name was Brooklyn. She's for a hotel named Hotel Zindel. And someone goes to Hotel Zindel. She would text you and say, "Hey, Dave." And she would do this probably day of the check-in. She texts you, and you still get your emails and all that stuff. But she'd say, "Hey, Dave, this is Brooklyn from Hotel Zindel. I'm your personal concierge. If you need anything, recommendations, anything you need, let me know. I'm here to help." Second later, she sends another message, be like, "Oh, if you have any other issues, like getting registered, getting to a room, let me know. Then if you may or may not reply, a few hours later, she's like, hey, just want to check on you. Were you able to get into the room? Now, if you engage, you ask her for recommendations, or you ask her that you need more towels or pillows or anything like that, she's going to be able to not only have full conversations with you, but she'll also, like, the automations will do certain tasks, like let the cleaning people know, hey, bring some towels, or bring extra pillows, or clean the room, or if you want to know like the best bars with live music tonight, she's going to tell you. And we've gotten really good at making those conversations so human-like. We can even make them with blue bubbles, so it looks like it's coming from an iPhone. That we're having tens of thousands of messages go out, and unless there's a hallucination or something goes wrong, no one knows they're talking to AI. In fact, we have full conversations. We have people thanking the AI employees in Google reviews and stuff. They think they're talking to them.
Now, without giving away too much of the secret sauce, how much of this is stuff that you've put together with off-the-shelf software and customized and integrated? How much is stuff that you had to build from scratch?
Yeah, there's no secret sauce. I mean, we've learned from others, just like other people have. But to create an AI employee, so far, in a year from now, there's probably chatbots that can do everything that we're talking about as good as we're doing it. But as of right now, to actually create one AI employee, we have not found like a turnkey solution that does it. So basically what we're doing is we're using currently ChatGPT Brain. We're using like N8N. It's kind of like a Zapier. And then we're like integrating with a texting platform. We use a lot of Go High Level. We can use others. And then we're also integrating if there's a CRM involved, other places, if there's data that needs to be pulled. So on average, we're on a very, very small implementation. There's a minimum of probably 3 integrations. On more complex, there might be 7, 8 integrations that we have to do. One AI employee, the average amount of workflows and automations is around 400. And, training of the AI usually between like 80 pages of training. So it's a lot of engineering labor. Like people don't, they think AI just magically does it. But for it to actually do tasks and have human-like conversations and not sound like AI, and get through all the texting rules and everything that's involved with that, it's a significant amount of engineering work and ongoing labor associated with, managing, maintaining, fine-tuning, additional integrations, all of that.
And I'd assume there's a good deal of prep work as well, too, right? Like to get the data ready, to be able to feed to it and make sure that the business is ready. Tell me a little bit about the prep to make the customer ready for this.
Yeah, that's a great question. So it depends how much information they need to know that's proprietary, but that's unique to their business and about the person that it's conversating to. So for example, if you want the AI employee to have a conversation, let's just say about their account, and it give actual meaningful information, it needs to know whatever an employee would know about their account. So where's the data sit? How can it read the data? How can it access it? What APIs can we do into there? Do they have good data? That's very impactful. I'll give you an example. We have one. It's customer service, but it does a little bit of sales. So we have a customer, Silver Lining Herbs. They sell supplements for horses primarily. Very, very big company. They do dogs as well. And if you know any horse people, they love their horses. So they had 3 employees, 3 women working full time, just texting and fulfilling orders for past order people. So people that have ordered supplements for their horses, they wanted, they would then text and, see how the horse was doing, ask questions, help them with, it was customer service, customer satisfaction. But at the end of the day, they do want to get some reorders. But you got to know a lot about the horses. You got to know they have over 400 supplements that they're selling. You have to know like what, horses sometimes don't want to eat certain ones, how to get them to eat it. If it's not working, is it, what might that be? They need to know, what supplements solve which issues in the horses. So we had to do a lot of training. That was actually one of the most complex AI employees we've created to date. And it has a lot of integrations as well. But what's crazy with that AI employee, it's having conversations that span weeks. And people are even sending pictures of their horses. They're asking all kinds of questions. No one has, as of yet, has figured out that AI is, that it is an AI. They think it's an employee there. And in fact, I think if some of the people found out they've been talking for weeks and sending pictures of their horses to Sarah and that they find out she's AI, I think it would actually be problematic. So we don't reveal that it's AI unless they ask that directly.
We'll be right back after this message. Support for the show comes from ScalePad. Ever feel like you're doing all the work, but no one sees it? That's the reality for a lot of MSPs. You're putting out fires, chasing spreadsheets, juggling client requests. But when it's time to show value, crickets. That's where ScalePad comes in. Trusted by over 10,000 MSPs, ScalePad solutions help you turn invisible effort into visible impact. Pulling together the tools you already use, from reporting, quoting, compliance, and asset planning, into one easy platform. So instead of chasing details, you're leading smarter conversations. Because doing great work is one thing, getting credit for it, that's where the real business growth happens. ScalePad helps you show value, build client trust, and lead with confidence. Learn more at scalepad.com/Dave. And we're back. Okay, but that brings up an interesting piece, because those conversations likely they need to get integrated back into the customer's information and the way that they're. So talk to me about how that works.
So they're using HubSpot, for example. So it needs to. So we have APIs into HubSpot. So it's updating the so they can go. In this case, the texting platform is Go High Level, which is a marketing tool. A lot of people use it for a lot of marketing tasks. Go High Level has its own AI, but it's nowhere near, can't do anything like this. HubSpot also has an AI, also cannot do this. So we're kind of building all the AI, different platforms together to make this AI employee. It has to feed in via API, both to read data about the customer from HubSpot. Who's the customer? What's their phone number? When did they order? What did they order? What's their horse's name? Right? Like all this information, and it has to update it back into HubSpot. So those are examples. Also it needs to know like links, like if someone wants to order something, that it can, provide the information to order. Like there's, a couple platforms happening there, but HubSpot's one of the main ones where it's doing a lot of those updates.
Gotcha. Now, I suspect the conversations with customers around return on investment are pretty straightforward, but I'd like to hear a little bit about how those conversations go.
Yeah, so that is a great conversation. So that is one of the first things I cover is the return on investment. So if it is a revenue generating type AI employee, first we need to know how many leads are they getting in, or how many leads if we're looking at dead leads in the database. Based on that and on their sales side, we will have very strong indication on our past numbers if it's even worth doing it. And we're pretty transparent if it's not pretty. We're very transparent, because here's what's happening. If we do this for them, it's a lot of labor. It's a lot of labor. And then they're going to go 2-3 months and they're going to stop. And the way we're pricing it, it's kind of like an MSP contract. You're going to get the short end of the stick. And so if they don't continue because it's not paying for itself, it's not, and it's revenue generating, we don't even do it. Now we know those numbers, if it can pay for itself, if it can. In some businesses, it just absolutely kills it. I can give you an example of one of those. But then the other one is if it's replacing labor, who do they have doing the labor? How much, what percentage of the job can it replace? And just to give you an idea, the average cost to run, set up, maintain, not including texting fees, is usually around $36,000 a year. So that's roughly like a part-time person. So can it replace what a full-time or more is doing? Now, the beauty of one AI employee, it can do on average about 6,000 text messages a day. And depending on, sometimes we can even get it up to 15,000. Now, the phone carrier companies, once you cross 6,000 text messages a day, they look at it very, very closely. And if you're doing like revenue generation stuff, you might get shut down. So that's kind of where we limit it. But if you're doing like customer service with existing customers, we can usually get it up maybe even above that 6,000. But if you think about that, what employee can have hundreds of text conversations, 6,000 a day? No human can do that. So if you have the volume and it can do tasks as well that replace human labor, it can pay for itself. So that's the way to look at it. Like, how much labor or how much revenue is it generating? If it's not adding to the bottom line, it's not worth it. Then just do it manually. If it can, or use a cheap, for some businesses, those cheap AI bots that are like a couple $100 a month might do the job for them. But for them to have an AI that is to this degree in sophistication, that's kind of the cost. And then they have to kind of weigh it out. Is it worth it?
I want to explicitly ask, because you've used the word replace a couple of times. Are clients replacing or are they augmenting staff? Like, are they actually changing their staff makeup?
It depends. Like the company we talked about with the AI texting, they went down from 3 people to 1 person to help process orders and stuff. So that's a reduction of 2.
But were they reallocating those people, or were those positions?
One they reallocated, one they fired.
Okay, got it. I wanted to get a sense of that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
How much of this are you doing in your own organization at this point?
Yeah. So in our own organization, we have 2 big initiatives. So, well, we're already doing it on a little bit on the revenue generation side. We're also we have one that helps follow up to get Google reviews. So it's kind of that one. I don't want to call it a campaign, but we turn it on and off periodically. And so it's not just like doing it all the time. So basically the Google review one will follow up, say, hey, this is, what do we name her? Sabrina. This is Sabrina with the account management team. I'm an admin on the account management. Amy wanted me to reach out to just kind of, see how things have been lately. And if you'd be willing, to give us a review. And if they say yes, they say something negative, she escalates it to Amy, who's a real person. And if they are like, no, it's been great, I'll be happy to give you a review, then she gives them the link and asks for the review. So that's what we've been doing internally. But like for MSP owners that really want to know like what we're doing, we're 2 big ones that we're doing is, one, time audits of the engineers. So we have a lot of engineers. They, like every MSP, they're putting in time entries at volume. If you miss billing because they put it in the wrong agreement ConnectWise, or they, mislabeled it, or they put, legitimate, let's say, project work in like a holistic ticket that doesn't get billed, all those things, you start bleeding thousands of dollars every month. And so we obviously have checks and balances where managers have to approve the time entries. But even then, if you go back 3 months, 6 months, and you dig in and you say, okay, by customer, how many hours do they have included, or how many hours are we expecting? How many were actually performed versus how many were billed? And you start seeing discrepancies, and then you start digging into the discrepancies. You still find stuff. And so right now we're building an AI. We're using ChatGPT and N8N, and we're integrating it into ConnectWise to start doing that audit. I probably think we're still maybe like 3 months out before it's fully functioning, but we're getting pretty good. The other one is the triage and dispatch. So right now, we have not found a tool over the shelf that can, there's ones like Sidekick that like help with the triage and dispatch, but I'm like, no, I want AI to do the dispatch, not necessarily the phone pickup. I want that to be human, but I want when a ticket based on SLA and the assignments on the calendar, I want it actually to happen by AI. And I want to be able to reduce the staff that we have on triage and dispatch. Probably have 7, 8 people right now. I would like to take it down to 2 or 3. And to do that, AI actually has to do it. And I want to, then you have to have people that are like overseeing it, making sure if there's an issue that AI can't handle, training, whatever. So that's the other one. Also, once again, ChatGPT, N8N, ConnectWise, integrations. So we're putting a lot of labor, a lot of work into that as well.
Gotcha. Well, I could talk about this all day as I wrap up. How sensitive is your organization then to model changes? Like, I'm really curious, the models change rather frequently. You've talked ChatGPT several times. They've gone through several model changes lately. Like, how sensitive is the organization to those model changes?
If you're talking about our organization, or you're talking about the AI employee, yeah, 5 is definitely got some issues. And it has higher token fees in the conversation. So if you're doing tens of thousands of conversations, it's problematic. To give you an idea, when we're conversating like on 4 or 4 mini, which is what we're using for most of the conversations, someone might pay in token fees, even with thousands of conversations, a few $100s a month. Now we accidentally went to 4.5 on one of the AI employees, and it only ran for about 6 hours, and it ran the bill up to $1,200. So had that run all month, it would have not been good. And it's basically still having a very similar conversation. And 5 has a lot of issues still. Obviously they're working on it. It does a lot of hallucination. It does a lot of weird stuff. If you're just asking it for like information or writing an essay or whatever, but there's a lot of weird stuff when you start building AI to replace human and you start conversating, you start to find all the bugs and you start to realize how dumb it can sometimes be as well. So there's a lot of issues with it when it comes to like a conversational. So we don't use 5 as much as we use some of the earlier language models.
Gotcha. Well, Ephraim Ebstein is a $30 million entrepreneur, IT strategist, and the founder of Fit Solutions. With a track record of building 2 national companies from scratch, he now helps organizations scale smarter, integrate AI for performance, and sidestep security pitfalls. His expertise lies in turning tech complexity into strategic advantage. Ephraim, I know we could go for hours more. If people are interested in reaching out and continuing the conversation, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, great question. Run a Google search, whatever you like. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can email me as well, eepstein@fitsolutions.biz. But I love to connect. If you have a question, want to be friends, let's do it.
The Business of Tech is written and produced by me, Dave Sobel, under ethics guidelines posted at businessof.tech. If you've enjoyed the show, make sure you've subscribed or followed on your favorite platform. It's free and helps directly. Give us a review too. If you want to support the show, visit patreon.com/MSP Radio and you'll get access to content early. Or buy our Why Do We Care merch at businessof.tech. Have a question you want answered? We take listener questions, send them in, ideally as a voice memo or video to question@mspradio.com. I answer listener questions live on our Wednesday live show on YouTube and LinkedIn. If you've got a comment or a thought on a story, put it in the comments if you're on YouTube, or reach out on LinkedIn if you're listening to the podcast. And if you want to advertise on the show, visit mspradio.com/engage. Once again, thanks for listening, and I will talk to you again on our next episode.
Part of the MSP Radio Network.